Only 3 days ago, at 6:51 p.m. local time on June 3, 2024, the Kanlaon Volcano in the Philippines produced its largest eruption in recorded history. Here is a brief overview of what this eruption sounded like, albeit sped up. As shown in this footage, part of the eruption column collapsed back to the ground towards the south and southeast, resulting in pyroclastic flows which scorched vegetation up to 3 kilometers downslope, including possibly at the edge of sections of farmland. While it only appears that up to 3 millimeters of ash fell due to the 6-minute eruption, there is now another looming danger, Lahars. Heavy rains are expected to impact Negros Island, which Kanlaon lies on today on June 6, and even though only minimal ash fell, this could generate a significant hazard. To prove my point, I have highlighted the area of the volcano in the surrounding landscape which drains into a singular riverbed. Although only totaling an area of 7 square kilometers, let us suppose that all of the deposited ash, since it is quite loose when freshly fallen, which was 3 millimeters thick, was swept into the riverbed via unusually heavy rainfall. That would mean that 21,000 cubic meters of clay-rich sticky ash from Kanlaon's eruption would be directed into an up to 3.5 meter deep and 7 meter wide riverbed. This figure could easily overtop sections of the riverbed walls, especially at narrower sections, which is exactly what occurred on June 5th at around 1 p.m. local time. As a result of a portion of this ash combining with water to generate a dangerous volcanic mudflow known as a lahar, part of this lahar overtopped the river channel and spread out on a 540-meter wide section of road in Kanlaon City, accumulating there to up to 6 centimeters deep, making the road impassable. While it does not initially appear that any other damage was caused by this event or the other 3 drainages which received largely channel-confined lahars, larger lahars are expected to occur today. While yesterday's lahars were triggered by 23.75 millimeters of rain falling across 2 hours, up to 55 millimeters will fall today. Take a quick look at Kanlaon's Lahar Hazard map so you can be aware if you potentially live in an at-risk area. You might note that numerous areas at risk west and southwest of the Kanlaon volcano, with the latter marking where the majority of ash fell during the recent eruption. However, just like at the deadly lahar which recently occurred at Indonesia's Mount Merapi volcano, my greatest concern involves areas downslope of the pyroclastic flows which are generated. Although we do not know what the full extent of the pyroclastic flows Kanlaon's eruption created were, let us assume a worst-case scenario based on the limited information provided by Phivolcs. This assumes that the pyroclastic flows traveled 3 kilometers along 2 drainages, completely scorching all vegetation in and adjacent to these areas, encompassing an area of 1.94 square kilometers. The debris from these vegetation, as well as the loosening of soil underneath them, are likely to be added to any lahars which occur, which are most likely to flow along the drainages I have shaded in yellow. I have an especially high concern where I have placed a red exclamation mark, as this seemingly marks a broad, flat area where mud deposits from lahar could spread out on. While the odds of a very large lahar, in my opinion, seem low, there is still the potential for a lahar to become deadly, especially after witnessing footage posted on social media which shows locals watching a lahar rush down a riverbed from either A, a bridge, or B, the sides of that very river. For the love of everything that is good, don't do this. You don't know how large the lahar you are observing is upstream, meaning it could increase in size to deadly proportions before you can react. Go to higher ground if you hear or see a lahar coming your way. As a final note, I want to add that an unusually large volume of sulfur dioxide was released by Kanlaon's recent eruption, totaling approximately 100,000 metric tons.